good to see you, Stephen A.
Yes.
All right, 6 days away from the Super Bowl.
Be here, people.
Right? It'll be the first appearance for both quarterbacks, Joe Burrow in the Bengals versus Matthew Stafford in the Rams. Both Stafford and Burrow ranked among the top 10 in passing yards and TDs during the regular season. Here's how the two stack up against each other through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. And there will be the second Super Bowl ever between starting quarterbacks drafted first overall. The other was Super Bowl 50 when Peyton Manning's Broncos beat Cam Newton's Panthers. Stephen A., are you more confident in the Bengals or the Rams?
I got to admit, I'm more confident in the Bengals right now. First of all, major props to Zach Taylor and his staff for doing the job that they have done. That's number one. A lot of props and credit deserves to go in their direction. But number two, and more importantly, this kid Joe Burrow's a bad brother. And unlike Matthew Stafford, he has been in big games before. I mean, not to say that Matthew Stafford wasn't in big games because he just finished playing 2 big games. I mean, the 3 games, if you want to count Arizona, which was a shellacking, but then you go and you beat Tom Brady, even though you gave up a 27-3 lead before winning that game at the final buzzer. And then obviously you go into the the NFC Championship game and you beat the San Francisco 49ers. So those were big games. Right. Joe Burrow was a national champion. And this is basically Joe Burrow's first full season in the National Football League playmaker, and he's in the Super Bowl. If there's ever a dude that's playing with house money, it would be him. You look at Jamar Chase. He bust onto the scene. He's a rookie. This brother is sensational. Last time I checked, T. Higgins is no slouch, fresh off of 6 receptions for 103 yards. And I would remind everybody that Cincinnati's defense held Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and those boys to 3 points in the second half and overtime of an AFC championship game. And it wasn't an overtime where Patrick Mahomes didn't get the ball like he didn't get it against Tom Brady 3 years ago in the New England when he went against the New England Patriots. Oh, no. The Kansas City Chiefs won the coin toss. They got the ball in overtime. So not only were they shut down in the second half, they were shut down in overtime. And so I look at it from that perspective, and I'm saying, wait a minute. You're going to the Super Bowl with this young squad having balled and proven all the doubters wrong, including myself. Not only did they do that, they're now going to the Super Bowl on the home turf of the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams ain't just playing in LA. It's not like they played at SoFi Stadium, but the Super Bowl's at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena or something. Oh, no. Where they show up every week to play their home games, that's where the Super Bowl is, okay? They didn't have to pack. They didn't have to travel. They got to sleep in their own beds, everything. And if you're Matthew Stafford and those boys, pressure's on you. Cincinnati, to me, is playing with house money. All the odds should be stacked against them, but it ain't because they're balling. They ain't got anything to lose in this game as far as I'm concerned. I think I'm more confident in them right now.
So wait, Stephen, let me get this right. So she's asking, which team are you more confident in?
In the Bengals.
You're talking about the team that has the most pressure on them. You're saying that's the Rams. I don't know. I kind of like pressure. I think pressure brings the best out of people. But let's break this down and look at some people. That's what we're saying. You're absolutely right about that. And the Rams got those some people on their team. They have the more, let's call it stars, right? And at some point, that's why the reason they're called stars, they made big plays in this National Football League. And playing at home on this stage, right here, in front of mama, daddy, brother, sister, niece, nephew, cousin, everybody right here, will bring the best out of this team. I'm more confident than in the Rams. The Rams got the experience here. This is not Sean McVay going up against the almighty Bill Belichick, Mr. Miyagi. This is Sean McVay going up against his pupil. He's going up against Zach, somebody he taught. So you don't have to worry about what we saw a few years ago. You don't have to worry about that with the Rams. And the Rams got all the stars. Look at the defensive side. You talked about the defense. Both of these teams are right about the middle of the pack in defense. But on every level, the Rams got stars. They got a guy named Aaron Donald up top. And then they got a guy on the back end named Jalen Ramsey. And between those two right there, they got 13 Pro Bowls, 10 All-Pros with 3 Defensive Players of the Year. They will step up on this stage right here. I said it last year when everybody was talking about Kansas City going to Tampa. Are you joking? Do you know what's going to be said in that locker room prior to going out on that football field? We cannot let any team come into our house and win this game. It's like coming and sitting down and having dinner with your wife, eating your meal, holding her hand. You cannot allow this. That's why I say the Rams will not lose this football game.
Time out. That is a horrible analogy. Your wife with the meal. I mean, that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
I'm saying it's your house.
That has nothing to do with it.
Michael, I felt you on that.
Nothing to do with that whatsoever. Nothing to do with it whatsoever. I mean, please. That's a horrible analogy. Horrible. Okay? Let's get that out the way first, okay? It's just horrible analogy. That's number one. Number two, you could say this, Mike, and I get where you're coming from because you're talking about Donald and Jalen Ramsey and the crew. I get all of that. You ever heard of Von Bell? You ever heard of Sam Hubbard? You ever heard about Trey Hendrickson and the way these boys have been playing? I mean, I don't know if when they beat Tennessee, for example, that was a pretty good performance. They beat the Raiders. It was a pretty good performance. When they beat Kansas City, that was a pretty good performance. The defense showed up, particularly when it counted in every game. I'm not saying that Donaldson and those boys ain't going to wreak havoc. If the Tennessee Titans can get 9 sacks against Joe Burrow, my God, I'm scared for his life this Sunday in the Super Bowl. I get all of that. I'm saying there's something about Cincinnati, and I'm not making my pick yet. I'm still holding out. But there's something about the Cincinnati Bengals. When you ask about confidence, pressure breaks pipes. For some people, they shine like yourself. For some people, like others who were not you, who wore your same uniform and haven't been you for over a quarter century, that's a different matter. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.